I should have never gone to Granby. It was a forgotten village deep in the Swedish countryside, surrounded by dense forests and shrouded in a constant fog. I was traveling alone looking for inspiration for my next book, and I'd heard about Granby on an obscure internet forum. They said it was a place untouched by time, but there were also strange stories. People disappearing, unexplainable sounds in the forest, and a fog that never lifted. I thought it would be perfect for my research. I was wrong. I arrived at dusk. The village was smaller than I'd imagined, with old wooden houses and dirt roads. There wasn't a soul in sight, but I felt eyes watching me from behind the windows. The silence was suffocating, broken only by the sound of my footsteps. The fog was so thick it felt alive, moving around me as if it were following me. I found a small inn in the center of the village. The owner, a thin, pale man, greeted me with a strange smile. "You're the first visitor in a long time," he said as he handed me the key to my room. I asked about the fog and he simply replied, "It protects what shouldn't be seen." That night I couldn't sleep. The silence was absolute, but I could feel something wrong. Around midnight I heard footsteps in the hallway. I got up and opened the door, but no one was there. Just the fog, which now seemed to have crept inside the inn, crawling along the floor like a living thing. I decided to go outside. I grabbed my flashlight and walked through the empty streets. The fog seemed thicker, almost solid, and I could barely see a meter ahead. That's when I heard it. First, a whisper, low and incomprehensible. Then laughter. It wasn't human. It was distorted, like something trying to mimic a human voice but failing miserably. I followed the sound as if hypnotized until I reached the forest. The fog seemed to guide me, parting between the trees. That's when I saw something. At first I thought it was a person, but it was too tall, too thin. Its arms were long, almost touching the ground, and its head was tilted at an unnatural angle. It looked at me, or at least I think it did, because it had no eyes. Just black holes where they should have been. I wanted to run, but my body wouldn't move. Came closer and I felt a cold so sharp it seemed to cut through my soul. Then it whispered something. I couldn't understand the words, but I felt the meaning. "You shouldn't be here." I woke up the next morning lying on the side of the road, miles away from Granby. My car was there, untouched, but my camera and notebook were gone. When I asked about the village in a nearby town, people looked at me like I was crazy. Granby? That place was abandoned over 50 years ago. But I know what I saw. And sometimes at night I still hear that distorted laughter as if the fog had followed me.